Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of War Machines. So, last time we finished out Group D. We had 12 robots making their debut, and it was Scorpios between those 12 robots who managed to come out on top, win 3 matches in the last episode, and secure their spot in the grand final. While quite a few big names from that one are surely heading over to the last chance section, where they'll look to claim one of those extra spots after all the heats are over. Claim one of those extra spots in the grand final. So today, we're going to start Group E, where 12 more awesome robots are going to make their debut and look to claim the 5th spot in this season's grand final. Let's go ahead and find out who all is going to be competing for that next spot. And here are the 12 contenders in Group E. So to lead it off at the top left, we have Bale Spear, a robot that we haven't really seen, a type of robot we have not really seen much of here on War Machines, who will look to punch their way through the competition with that spear. Then right down below, we got a BattleBot contender that really became a fan favorite after their performance in the recent season. We got Claw Viper with that amazing speed and their ability to grapple opponents. Then right down below, the first returner of the bunch in this group, we have Deep 6 in that massive and destructive vertical spinner. Then right down below, we have another fan favorite BattleBots contender. We have Duck returning for their 3rd season of War Machines as well, with a new design and a pretty effective lifter. Then down below, we have another rookie contender. We got Flaming Wheel, a King of Bots contender who will be looking to show off that full body spinner. Down below, the last one of this half, we got Hijinks, another rookie contender from BattleBots with that powerful undercutter. Then on the right side, to lead it off, we have Mad Catter coming with a brand new design for this season of War Machines with that powerful vertical spinner who will be looking to make it a couple steps further than they have in their past 2 seasons here. Then right down below, we have the big name of this heat. We have Sosig and that powerful and destructive vertical spinner that destroyed the competition last season. Then down below, we have Sprocket Raccoon making their official debut to War Machines with that lifter. Then finally, for the last quadrant, we have Stinger to lead it off, who is also making their War Machines debut tonight. Stinger with a pretty effective lifter and that effective control system they got. Then down below, another rookie bot, this time from the same team that made Deep 6, we have Triton, another BattleBots contender who will be looking to make their spark with that horizontal spinner. Then last but not least, we have one of the more comical designs in this season of War Machines, but an amazing looking design from King of Bots. We have Violent Dragon. So yeah, quite a few big names in this group, quite a few very destructive spinners. We have another very competitive group here, so there's sure to be a lot of competition for that grand final spot, and I'm sure we're going to see some big names getting sent off to the last chance section. So I think we should go ahead and start getting to the fun and start talking about our first matchup of the episode. So for the first matchup in this episode of War Machines, we have 2 fellow BattleBots contenders, 1 rookie and 1 veteran to War Machines. We have Bale Spear, who's going to be taking on Deep 6. We'll start off with the rookie bot, Bale Spear, with a pretty unusual weapon, a weapon that we don't really see that often here in this series with that spear. Bale Spear will be looking to knock Deep 6 off balance as much as possible and potentially use that spear do as much damage as they possibly can to Deep 6. I'm not sure how much damage that spear can actually do, but I'm sure interested to find out. But we gotta talk about Deep 6 first. Deep 6 has proven in the past 2 seasons that large vertical spinner is an absolute nightmare of a weapon to anybody it makes contact with. So that's definitely gonna be something to watch out for. Deep 6 is gonna be trying to knock Bale Spear off balance as much as possible and just remain stable, basically, because that robot can be pretty easily knocked off balance. However, with this new design, they are able to self-right a lot cleaner this time around. So, yeah. So I'm sure Deep 6 is going to be landing just as many punches as they were last time. So yeah, I'm excited for this match. Hopefully you are as well. So I think we should get to this match. Time for this match to begin. Balespear with a big charge to start this one off, taking a few shots from Deep Six's spinner. No big shot. Deep Six flipped and was able to cleanly self-right, and they land a couple big shots with that bar spinner. Another huge shot that sends Balespear up into the air. And Balespear off balance, and already they lose one of those front armor pieces right off the bat. Amazing that they were able to take a couple of those shots cleanly, though, because they are just right back on the attack here. A couple more shots landed by Deep Six, another one to the sides there, another shot to the sides that's flipping Balespear around, and another big shot. I saw a part came off. I can only assume it's part of Balespear, but I don't know what exactly. Jeez, when Deep Six gets flipped over, they usually flop around the arena most times. That's what would happen every time they got flipped last season. But this time, it's a lot cleaner. And I see Balespear just lost the spear completely. Deep Six's bar spinner definitely doesn't seem to be doing as much as it has in past seasons. But it sure is an effective weapon regardless. Because Deep Six is in full control of this match so far. Balespear has just had no answer to start this fight out. Halfway through this match, I think it's pretty safe to say Deep Six is on top. Balespear is going to need something big to happen to turn this match around. But Deep Six is just not giving them the breathing room for that to happen. So yeah, a couple more hits right there from Deep Six. Looks like Balespear using what's left of that weapon area as like a shield. A little bit of a wedge-like shield in a way, in order to try to keep Deep Six's spinner from hitting lots of those really important areas. There goes that other front armor piece, as Balespear just did a couple more somersaults in the air. Safe to say that they're gonna have a lot of air flight miles after this match with how much air time Deep Six has given Balespear so far. What an effective spinner, though. And there goes a wheel from Balespear. Balespear down to 3 tires left with less than a minute to go in this match. However, Balespear at one of the sides, they were able to tip Deep Six over. Now Balespear attacking the sides once again, but now scooped up and lands a haymaker as Deep Six. Balespear right back into the corner. This is not where they want to be when you're facing such a menacing weapon, such as Deep Six's bar spinner. More pieces are coming off. I can only assume those are pieces of Balespear, probably parts of the frame. 10 seconds left to go in this match, and Deep Six in full control for nearly the entirety of the match, but we are starting this episode off with a judge's decision. Definitely was not expecting a judge's decision in a match like this, especially when you have such a dangerous robot like Deep Six in the arena. But Deep Six proved that, wow, that bar spinner is just as much an absolute menace to the competition as it has been in past seasons. They were not able to get the knockout on Balespear, but they sure did do a lot of damage in the process. Balespear had a couple good pushing moments that managed to tip Deep Six over a few times, but it definitely was not enough in my opinion. Balespear got so many air miles, took so much damage from that vertical spinner. I will give Balespear a lot of credit for the fact that they were able to survive this match, showing that this robot definitely has great durability. So, I think the judges already have their votes and have the fight scored. I'd say let's go ahead and find out what the judges had to say. So, the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Deep Six. Yeah, I think that was probably one of the easier calls the judging panel has had to make so far this season. Deep Six was in control for nearly the entirety of the match, and they will be advancing to next episode's semifinal, and definitely proved that they absolutely have what it takes to make a deep run in it. We'll have to find out who they go up against, though. So, yeah, the fun's just getting started. Let's go ahead and start talking about fight number 2. So, fight number 2 features 2 rookies to the field of War Machines. We have Flaming Wheel, who will be taking on Stinger. So on the left side, we got Flaming Wheel, a robot from King of Bots with a pretty effective full-body spinner. Definitely that full-body spinner is not one to joke about. But definitely their stability and their control is going to be something to watch in this match, and something that their opponent, Stinger, will be looking to take advantage of. So, Stinger, contender in the first couple seasons of BattleBots back in the ABC era of the competition. So, Stinger will be looking to use that wedge to absorb as much of the kinetic energy from Flaming Wheel's spinner as much as they can, and potentially get some flips in there and just knock Flaming Wheel off balance to where Stinger can have a much easier time controlling the match. So, yeah, we got 2 more rookies in the field that are about to fight here, and I'm really excited to look to see what these 2 robots can do. So, I think we should go ahead and get to this match and determine who will be joining Deep 6 in next episode's semifinal. Time for this match to begin. Stinger with a quick charge right off the bat. Stinger clearly looking to box rush, but they flip themselves in the process after that lift. Stinger looking to self-right, and they look to use Flaming Wheel's assistance there, and now they've self-ridden. But now Flaming Wheel up to speed, bouncing off that wedge of Stinger's. So that's something Flaming Wheel could have a hard time dealing with. It's just that wedge on Stinger. It's very well known in BattleBots for taking spinner attacks, but Stinger with a mislift, and they flip themselves in the process once again. And I see Stinger does have that awesome flamethrower there, so an extra weapon at their arsenal. Oh, big hit right there that sent Flaming Wheel back a ways, and Stinger, a couple of big shots right there, and Stinger just lost a wheel from that shot. So Flaming Wheel showing that that robot is absolutely capable of doing damage, and Stinger another mistimed lift. But Flaming Wheel, what about them though? Because they've been bouncing off the walls quite a bit. Nice flip though from Stinger. So yeah, Flaming Wheel definitely showing that lack of stability and control of their robot is going to make things tricky for them. Because right now, I'd say the arena is Flaming Wheel's biggest enemy, because we've seen them bounce off the arena walls quite a few times this match so far. Another nice couple of shots there between these 2 robots. Here comes Stinger, popping Flaming Wheel up into the air, but Flaming Wheel able to hold Stinger back thanks to that weapon. So we're halfway through this match. Hard to tell who's winning right now, because while I'd say Stinger has definitely led in the aggression and probably the control game as well, all the damage has been done by Flaming Wheel so far. And we're starting to see some damage to that wedge right there. Flaming Wheel definitely has a whole body spinner that is not a weapon that lots of people would want to joke about, that's for sure. So less than a minute to go, and Flaming Wheel goes flying after that last one, after bouncing off that wedge and then hitting the arena wall all there. And yeah, Stinger continuing to remain aggressive here and bouncing off the walls once again, and eventually off of Stinger's Flaming Wheel. Stinger continuing to charge. Once again, 30 seconds left to go, 30 seconds left for one of these robots to make a big statement for themselves. Stinger, I see, is smoking, showing they are really feeling the effects of that full body spinner. Nice couple of lifts right there from Stinger that sends Flaming Wheel into the air. So, yeah, good last 20 seconds of this match. What a fight we are seeing between these 2 robots. So, 15 seconds left to go now, and yeah, Flaming Wheel continuing to bounce into the arena rails, but Stinger just lost another big chunk of that wedge, and it's looking like we are going to have another judge's decision in this episode. Yeah, 2 fights, 2 judges' decisions so far. This one I think is going to be a lot harder to call than the last match. While it's definitely true that Flaming Wheel did all the damage in that match, thanks to the fact that they have a weapon that's more capable of doing damage between the 2 of them. Definitely Stinger, I think, was in control of most of that match. Not to mention, Flaming Wheel spent a lot of it out of control and bouncing into the arena walls. So we saw quite a few great exchanges between these 2 robots that led to either Flaming Wheel getting some major airtime or Stinger losing some parts. So I think this is going to be a pretty tricky judge's decision to call. It might come down to how the judges score aggression, control, and the weapon effectiveness category, because we saw quite a lot of it from these robots, but let's hear what the judges had to say. So the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Stinger. So yeah, definitely a bit trickier of a decision than the last one was, because this one was quite back and forth. I have a feeling it was the control Stinger had throughout the match, constantly knocking Flaming Wheel off balance, and the constant hitting of the walls that Flaming Wheel had been doing throughout the match that I think brought Stinger to victory in this one. We'll see Stinger in the next round. We'll see Flaming Wheel in the redemption rounds. Let's go ahead and talk about the next match, where we have Duck, who is going to be taking on Hijinks. So we got a battle between two BattleBots contenders, Duck with some veteran status, who clearly has quite a bit of work ahead of them to fix that 1-4 record that they currently have at the moment during their 2 seasons at War Machine so far. And then we got Hijinks on the other side, a rookie contender looking to show what that undercutter can do this competition. So we'll start talking about Duck, who has a new weapon this time around, unlike the lifter that they had the previous 2 seasons. So Duck will be looking to use that lifter a bit more effectively than they were able to do in the previous 2 seasons, and use that to be able to control the match, be able to take those hits from Hijinks, and yeah, they do have a special configuration in mind to provide some extra defense against that bar spinner. Then on the other side, we got Hijinks with that undercutter. So Hijinks will be looking to use that undercutter to cause as much damage as possible before the match is over, and potentially get a knockout on Duck. So, yeah. Can Hijinks complete the task? I'm certainly excited to see. And yeah, these are 2 BattleBots contenders I've enjoyed watching on the show. So I'm really excited for this matchup. So I think we should go ahead and get to this fight. Time for this match to begin. Duck with a butt plow configuration, like the one they used against Riptide that season, and Hijinks using the tail to counter that configuration and using it brilliantly, because they are using that to get underneath a Duck and set Duck up for a huge shot, as we saw right there, because Duck lost a couple wheels in that exchange, including one full wheel on the back right side. Hijinks laying some shots. Looks like they're taking some pieces off of that butt plow, and Duck really starting to take some damage. The damage is really starting to add up for Duck. Hijinks driving this match perfectly right now. Duck just has no answer for it. So whenever Duck points backside, Hijinks countering it with the tail, and Duck now choosing to go head on. Misflips, and now take a couple more shots from Hijinks. This is a really effective robot that we are seeing so far. So we're a minute into this match. Pretty safe to say that Hijinks is on top right now. Now, that bar is proving to be a pretty powerful weapon, showing that Hijinks absolutely has what it takes to move further. Duck hasn't been able to land a single flip so far, because Hijinks has just been sending them back time and time again. That is a really effective weapon on that robot. Another couple of shots right to the front of Duck. Duck is really not looking great right now. Hijinks takes a flip from Duck. That was the first flip they've landed so far this season. And Hijinks inverted right now. Doesn't seem to be driving as effectively, but Duck is starting to take a little more control of this match. So Hijinks needs to right themselves, because it seems like they're having trouble connecting with Duck with that spinner while inverted. And now Duck landing a couple more flips of their own, something they need to get this fight going and get back on track. Hijinks was re-inverted and getting that bar up to full speed, using that tail once again to help Hijinks get that spinner up to full speed, coming in for a couple more shots. Bounce off the front of Duck there, and yeah, Duck is smoking, been smoking for quite a bit of this match so far. Less than 30 seconds to go in this match. Can Duck hang on? I don't know, because they are on control board damage now. Hijinks with the control board KO and the win. Such a dominant performance from Hijinks. Duck had an interesting idea coming out with that butt plow configuration to help protect itself from Hijinks' horizontal spinner, but I think it kind of backfired on Duck, to be honest, because Hijinks was able to use that tail to lift a Duck off the ground and set it up for a huge hit from that undercutter. This was a brilliantly driven match from Hijinks for sure, because Duck had little to no answers throughout this match, as they just took hit after hit from that devastating bar spinner on Hijinks. As we saw a lot of pieces flying off of Duck, whether it's parts of the frame, parts of the butt plow, wheels, part of the weapon, really anything. So Hijinks event, it took a little while because Duck is a pretty tanky robot, but Hijinks managed to land all the shots they needed to get the KO and move on to the next round. So next up, we got two more rookies to this field of War Machines. We have Triton and Violent Dragon. So on the left side, we got Triton with a pretty effective horizontal spinner that we saw at the most recent season of BattleBots as of now. Triton has proven to have a pretty effective horizontal spinner in that competition. Will it have an effective spinner in this competition too? So, yeah, I'm really excited to see what this robot can do. Its opponent, however, one of the more comical designs that this series has to offer. We have Violent Dragon from King of Bots with that crusher and hammer type weapon. So yeah, so definitely Violent Dragon, while it is a really funny to look at design and probably one of the more joke robots that we have this series, definitely don't underestimate it, because like if Violent Dragon chooses, if Triton chooses to hold back or something, and Violent Dragon puts them in a pickle, it won't be a good look for Triton, that's for sure. So, yeah, I'm sure Violent Dragon's strategy, just don't let them get tipped over, basically, because if Violent Dragon gets tipped over, they won't be able to self-right, and that'll be the match for them. They'll want to try to probably avoid that bar spinner as much as they can, but I have a feeling that's going to be a tricky strategy, as it is with all big horizontal spinners like this one. So yeah, I'm excited to see what both these robots can do. So I think we should go ahead and get to the fourth match of the night and find out who else will be moving on to the semifinal. Time for this match to begin. And now both bots meet in the middle, and already Violent Dragon has been tipped over thanks to one shot from Triton, and Triton hits them again. And Triton, they just need to stand back and then they can get knocked up. Instead, they're going for more. And Triton landed another big shot that sends Violent Dragon flying. I don't know, I can't tell if Triton's trying to test out the horizontal spinner, or if they're trying to get Violent Dragon back into this match. I don't know for sure, but yeah, they're continuing to go in for more hits. I can only think right now that they're just trying to help Violent Dragon get back into this match. They don't want to end the fight too quickly. No, Violent Dragon upright, but Triton tips them over again. Violent Dragon clearly not the most stable robot exactly. He is quite easy to tip over, it would appear. Quite a few pieces coming off of the head of Violent Dragon, though, and there is smoke coming out of the back of that robot. Triton just needs to hang back, but no, they want some more in this one. So, yeah, now Triton off balance, Violent Dragon motionless in the corner right now. I wonder if that robot lost power. Clearly not, though, because we just saw the use of that weapon once for Violent Dragon to try to self-right. But here comes Triton again, taking more chunks out of that robot right there. This is, I don't know what to call this exactly. Whether Triton's trying to go for good sportsmanship and trying to help Triton out, or trying to help Violent Dragon out, or if this is just cruelty that we're seeing. But yeah, dominant performance from Triton nonetheless, and showing that that spinner is indeed pretty effective. So Yeah, Violent Dragon is on control board damage. Is Triton going to finish the job, or are they just going to hang back? It looks like they're choosing to go in for more, and that's going to do it right there. Triton KO. Dominant showing from Triton, as kind of expected, knowing they were up against a joke robot, at least in this competition. But it was still a fun fight, and loved seeing the debut of Violent Dragon for sure. So, while Triton did look quite impressive in this match and dominated it, cannot forget that this was probably not the strongest opponent that Triton could have been given. So I don't know how much this really says about what Triton can do, but I'm sure we'll see it in the next round, depending on who they draw, at least for the first round of their semifinal. Dominant win by Triton, we will see it in the next round. We'll see Violent Dragon later in this episode, where they'll take on two opponents in tonight's redemption rounds. So, for our next match, we got Mad Catter and Sprocket Raccoon, which is a highlighted match. Let's go ahead and get to this one. This match started out with a bang between these two robots. Lots of head-on action between these two robots to see who would have the superior ground game, and it was Mad Catter who took control early on. Mad Catter then was able to just dish out as many devastating shots with that vertical spinner, dealing all kinds of damage to Sprocket Raccoon, not giving it a single edge in this match, which helped lead it to a KO in order to win this match and punch their ticket to the semifinal. So yeah, now we have our last match before we get to the redemption round, and it is between Claw Viper and Sosig. So first up on the left side, we have Claw Viper, who is new to the field of war machines, coming from BattleBots with that grappler-like system. They'll be looking to use that to get underneath Sosig, knock that robot off balance, flip them over, just control the bout of the fight while taking minimal damage from that vertical spinner. And then on the other side, we have Sosig, returning for their second season of War Machines. Probably one of the more hyped up robots, because last season that thing just destroyed and dismantled the competition with that vertical spinner, until they ran into former champion Hydra in the top 8. That robot will be looking to make it a couple steps further, and Claw Viper is the first one in their path. They'll be looking to just dish out as much damage with the vertical spinner and disable Claw Viper as quickly as possible in order to get one step closer to the title. So, I'm excited for this one. I'm really looking forward to the debut of Claw Viper, as well as the return of probably a robot that's probably a favorite to win the whole thing. So, yeah, I think we should go ahead and get to this match and determine who will be grabbing that last spot in the semifinals prior to the Redemption Rumbles. Let's get on to this fight. Time for this match to begin. Both bots meet in the middle, and it's Sosig knocked off balance to start this match off. Claw Viper trying to get in there, mistimes that lift. Sosig gets away, but now Claw Viper has him from the backside and suplexes that robot once. But that left Claw Viper vulnerable, and they took a couple shots, but they are unfazed from it. And now Claw Viper has Sosig again and suplexes it a second time. But Claw Viper flipped over, Sosig recovers quicker than Claw Viper does, and Claw Viper takes a shot, and they are smoking right now. I think Claw Viper was hurt by that shot to the underside right there, because right now, driving a little awkwardly, and now pieces flying off. So yeah, that's that right there. Less than a minute it took Sosig to win that match. So it was a good start for Claw Viper, because Claw Viper was able to get a couple good grapples, a couple good suplexes in, but those suplexes were pretty much exactly what caused Claw Viper's downfall in this match. Because every time Claw Viper suplexed Sosig, it flipped them over and left them vulnerable to shots from Sosig's vertical spinner. Then Sosig started to get underneath Claw Viper, taking them apart piece by piece, disable the control board to win. So now that's that, we are on to the redemption rounds, where we're going to see Claw Viper once again, and joining them in this rumble includes Flaming Wheel and Sprocket Raccoon. We just saw Claw Viper in the last match get dismantled by probably one of the more hyped robots in the entire competition this season of the returning bunch. Then we got Flaming Wheel, who lost in a pretty close judge's decision with Stinger. And then we got Sprocket Raccoon, who got dismantled by Mad Catter in their opening round match. So lots on the line for all three of these robots. But I think all three of these robots did show some potential in their opening round match. So we'll have to see how it applies here. So Flaming Wheel's definitely got the advantage of being able to dish out damage with that full body spinner right there. We'll see how well that weapon gets involved in this match. Or we'll see Sprocket Raccoon and Claw Viper control the brunt of the match with their lifter and grappler type systems. So yeah, I'm excited for this match because we got some different types of robots in this Rumble here. So I think there's a lot that could happen in this one. So who's gonna grab that 7th spot in next episode's semifinal bracket? I don't know, but I think we should go ahead and find out and get to this Rumble. Let's get to this fight. Time for this match to begin. Claw Viper box rushing Flaming Wheel right off the bat, and now we got the two control bots going at it, while Flaming Wheel lands a shot onto the front of Sprocket Raccoon. Looks like those control issues still in effect for Flaming Wheel right now. That was kind of what costed them their match in that fight with Stinger. But right now, Claw Viper and Sprocket Raccoon going at it, and Claw Viper with a good suplex on Sprocket. Flaming Wheel trying to get in on the fun, but struggling to advance closer, struggling to keep up with the two control bots. Right now, Sprocket flipped over, and Sprocket takes a hit from Flaming Wheel, but so far unfazed. Sprocket trying to self-right Claw Viper, preventing that from happening. Excellent control from the grappler bot in this one. Flaming Wheel bounces off the wall, bouncing across the arena right now, and yeah, 1 minute in, a ricochet of shots from Flaming Wheel going off of Sprocket Raccoon and then Claw Viper, the way a pinball hits a couple posts. Now Claw Viper taking Sprocket into Flaming Wheel there. Claw Viper continuing to establish dominance over the other control bot right now and tried to get a suplex but just missed, and they might have helped Sprocket there because Sprocket Raccoon is now self-ridden. But not anymore now. Claw Viper's flipped Sprocket once again. And Flaming Wheel lands another shot onto the backside of Sprocket. Not a lot of damage caused by that full body spinner in this match. Definitely less than what we saw in their match with Stinger in the opening round. And Sprocket righted themselves, but immediately tipped right back over once again, and now Sprocket getting underneath and letting a flip of their own, knocking Claw Viper upside down. Claw Viper's struggles to self-right was probably what cost them the match again in their opening round match, but they were able to right themselves pretty cleanly there for the most part. So a couple little taps from Flaming Wheel onto both bots, and yeah, and we see a piece coming off of Sprocket's front. That's the first piece of damage that's been caused this match. Not anything major, but now Sprocket pushing Claw Viper into Flaming Wheel, and we got a dog pile of robots in the corner there here in these last 30 seconds. And a couple more flips or lifts from Claw Viper, inverting Sprocket Raccoon once again and taking it into the corner. Flaming Wheel getting back in on the fun right now, but not a lot so far from Flaming Wheel. I'd say other than that one piece of damage, Flaming Wheel's been pretty irrelevant from this match. 10 seconds to go. It is looking like this fight is going to go to the judges, where we have 3 bots fighting for their tournament lives. So yeah, there you have it for the first Redemption Rumble of this episode. So for the most part, I'd say Flaming Wheel was pretty irrelevant, because once again, they were struggling to get control of their own bot in this one, and struggled to keep up with all the action between these two robots. But every once in a while got some good engagements. For the most part, it was between Claw Viper and Sprocket Raccoon here. Both got a fair share of good flips and lifts in on the other. But I'd say probably Claw Viper controlled a little more of the match, in my opinion. So yeah, the one piece of damage was after that shot, where Flaming Wheel managed to tear off a small bit of the front on Sprocket Raccoon, but not really anything major was done. This will be an interesting fight to call for the judges, and I hear their votes are in, so let's go ahead and find out who is going to be taking that spot in next week's semifinal. Let's get to the decision. And now, the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Claw Viper! Yeah, I think that was the right call, in my opinion, because Flaming Wheel was pretty irrelevant throughout the match, just trying to keep up with the other two and was struggling to do so. And then I felt Claw Viper controlled a little more of the match between them and Sprocket Raccoon, leading them to a judge's decision victory in my books. And surely the judges agreed with that. So we'll see Claw Viper in the next round. They looked pretty solid in this match. They're certainly to get a tough cookie for their next match. We'll see how they do. But first, we got a second Redemption Rumble to do. So Redemption Rumble number 2 features Bale Spear, Duck, and Violent Dragon. So Bale Spear on the left side got pummeled by Deep Six time and time again, and lost a pretty brutal judge's decision. Then right down below we got Duck, who got dismantled piece by piece by Hijinks. And then last but not least we have Violent Dragon, who just simply got tipped over by Triton and took a few blows. But yeah, this one should be an interesting one between these three, because we got three other different types of robots. Bale Spear probably gonna be trying to utilize that spear as much as they can. Luckily, they're not up against a high damaging opponent this time around. So I imagine we're probably going to see a lot more of that one in this one. Duck will be hoping to make that lifter a little more relevant, because it was very clearly irrelevant in that match with Hijinks and a big non-factor that they'll be looking to change for this one. And Violent Dragon will be hoping to not get tipped over in the first 30 seconds this time around. So I think this will be an interesting battle between these three bots, because we got 3 different classes of robots. So I imagine this is gonna be a serious driving battle between these 3, and whoever wins that driving battle will probably be the one to grab that last semifinal spot. Regardless, I'm excited for this, so I think we should go ahead and get to the last match of the episode. Time for the last match of the night to begin. Duck and Bale Spear going at it. Bale Spear already utilizing the spear, now going after Violent Dragon, and Violent Dragon's been tipped over in the first 10 seconds. Duck trying to flip Violent Dragon right back over, and now Bale Spear using that spear poking the backside of Violent Dragon, and this is an unusual clash so far in the first 30 seconds of this one. Violent Dragon already put on its side. Duck and Bale Spear kind of going at it. Duck trying to get in on the fun right now. Underneath, Bale Spear pushing the bot around, kind of being a little more of a nuisance bot so far. Now Bale Spear turning their attention towards Duck, using that spear but going flying over the top of Duck. Duck clearly the lower to ground robot, as we all probably expected. Now Bale Spear trying to keep Violent Dragon in, and Violent Dragon is up right now, while Duck and Bale Spear going at it once again. We're definitely seeing a lot more usage from that spear on Bale Spear than what we saw in their match with Deep Six, and Duck has definitely been a bit more agile, more maneuverable, more controlled in this one. Violent Dragon trying to get in on it, trying to get an axe shot in. I think they got one in there, but now they're back on their side courtesy of Duck. And now Duck continuing to charge after Bale Spear. Violent Dragon stuck on their side once again. Are we going to see a count out soon here? We are halfway through this match. Hard to tell who's winning between Duck and Bale Spear right now, but surely it's one of the two bots. So yeah, a little over a minute to go. Bale Spear is inverted, but still able to use that spear and still able to drive for the most part normally. We are seeing a lot of usage from that thing, and I see Duck is kind of starting to get scuffed up a bit. I wonder if that spear is causing some marks on it, because we see Duck kind of changing colors there. Kind of turning more into a goose than a duck right now, courtesy of Bale's spear. So Balespear's spear clearly doing something to Duck. I don't think it's major, but definitely showing that it does have its effects for sure. So right now Duck continuing to corral Balespear around while Balespear continuing to use that spear. How do you judge something like this? 30 seconds left to go in this match. Violent Dragon has officially been counted out, meaning this fight is now down to just Duck and Balespear. Duck has definitely been controlling a little more of the action, but I would say that lifter has been, for the most part, irrelevant once again. We've been seeing it get a few lifts here and there, but so far, I don't think it's helped them too much. I think their ground game, their speed and maneuverability to dictate the pace of this match has. While Balespear, it's been that spear definitely, getting some real good action in. And this fight is now in the hands of the judges officially. So yeah, as I probably expected coming into this one, Duck and Balespear ended up being the primary contenders in this one. This Violent Dragon, well, it did get an axe shot on Balespear there, which for the most part was irrelevant once again in this one. So Duck and Balespear ended up going at it. Duck with that lifter, Balespear with that spear in order to determine this match. And Duck definitely controlled the brunt of this match, was able to use their better ground game and somewhat that lifter to control the majority of the match, dictate the pace of the fight. But Balespear's spear made Duck look a little more like a goose there, showing that spear was indeed doing some damage, getting some good action in this one, just to show that Balespear is definitely not out yet. So how are the judges going to call this? Let's go ahead and find out. So the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Duck. So yeah, this was an interesting one to call, I feel, because definitely got quite a lot of good action from Duck and Balespear, making this one a little bit tricky to call, I imagine. Regardless, it ended up being Duck who ended up taking this match, and Duck will be moving on to the next round. We'll see who they face, because like Claw Viper after that redemption round victory, they're certainly going to have a difficult opponent ahead of them. We'll find out soon who that is. So that's going to do it for the fights portion of this episode. So we had several great robots make their debut, and quite a few great ones with potential moved on to the semifinal after the opening round. And certainly enough, we saw a few redemption round robots advance who absolutely have the potential to go on a deep run. And as we've seen in the past few group stages, you don't want to underestimate the robots that go through the redemption round, because we've had 2 robots so far manage to win their way through the redemption round and acquire that grand final spot. So yeah, so there are lots of tough cookies. Let's go ahead and check out the bracket and find out what matchups we're going to see in the first part of the next episode. And here is next week's bracket. So, not surprisingly, Sosig is one of the top dogs in this bracket after the quick work they made of Claw Viper in their opening round match. Their opponent will be Duck, who won the last fight of this episode. We'll have to see how well Duck can hold up to the terrifying power of that vertical spinner. Then down below, we have Stinger and Triton, 2 robots who made their War Machines debut tonight and looked pretty solid in there. It'll be interesting to see how well Stinger's plow can hold up to the power of Triton's horizontal spinner. That should definitely be a fun fight to watch. Then in the top right, we have a rematch from BattleBots. We got Mad Catter and Claw Viper, 2 more robots who made their debut and look solid, despite Claw Viper having to go through the redemption round to get to this point. That should be another fun fight to watch, and I'm excited for it. Then down below, the last matchup, we got Hijinks and Deep Six, two big bar spinners, 1 horizontal and 1 vertical. Definitely when 2 big spinners clash, there's certainly to be some powerful impacts. So that's another one I'm really excited for. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. We will complete this bracket next week and find out who will be the next robot to claim a spot in the grand final. So thanks for watching. If you liked, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this or any of the other types of content I do here on this channel. So be sure to tune in next time, because surely a lot of fun is on the way. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.